Many of you will be in this misconception that you need to have very deep subject knowledge. You need to know all the facts and figures with you. What is the reality of an interview? With 40-45 minutes within that time period, to judge a person's personality is really difficult. There is a 50% chance or probability that I will be judging you wrong. See, people generally think that interview is all about answering questions. I can keep going like this, beating around the bush, or I can clearly tell you what I did for my interview. Because once you enter into UPSC preparation, it comes to a point where the moment a movie starts, within 5 minutes, you are like, Arey, this is what the story is going to be. Hello everyone. Welcome to PWOLIA's YouTube English channel. Hope you're all doing great today. So, I have come with another video here. And that is basically about to tell you about the reality of UPSC interview. Many of you will be in this misconception that you need to have very deep subject knowledge. You need to know all the facts and figures with you. All these misconceptions will be there. What is the reality of an interview? It is actually called personality test. Personality test means they really want to know what type of personality are you holding. Now, to be very honest, with 40-45 minutes within that time period, to judge a person's personality is really difficult. So everything matters, from the way you are walking in, the way you are sitting, the way you are looking at them. Every part of your body language matters here. How you sit also matters. Whether you're leaning forward, how have you positioned your legs, all these matters. Because see, 40-45 minutes I'm supposed to make a judgment out of you, where there is a 50% chance or probability that I will be judging you wrong. Understand that very, very clearly. And this judgment part starts even before you enter that room, in your detailed application form, where you would have written what are your hobbies, what are your interests. That is the main focus area for the UPSC board. What you did in your graduation, what subject or stream you took up to study, or how many years it took you to reach finally at the interview level. All these may form a small part, but they are not the core of the interview. Core of the interview is basically to know what type of personality you hold and what are your view points when it comes to world events, national events. So that is the reason why we have come with this interview guidance program. So from 2024, we have already given more than 520 plus results. And if you look at our panel members, we have Sunil Oberoi sir, who is a retired IAS officer and former UPSC examiner. We have Sangeeta Gupta ma'am, who is again a retired IRS officer, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, former UPSC board member. We have Sunil Gulati sir, who is again a retired IAS officer, Special Chief Secretary and Chief Resident Commissioner to Haryana government. We have Anil Kumar Mehra sir, retired IRS officer, former Principal Commissioner, Central Excise and Customs. We have Jalaj Shrivastava sir, retired IAS officer, Additional Chief Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture. We have DS Malik sir, who is a retired IIS officer. As you can clearly see, the panel itself, it's all serious business. It's not about getting somebody random and conducting the interview. In addition to these, what other features are there? Simulated mock interviews, where you'll have one-to-one mock and feedback session by UPSC rank holders or experts. Offline and online personalized mentorship will be provided. A third eye view, that is, how did you perform? How did you perform? How are you looking that day? Personalized DAF filling, discussion, questionnaire, interview-oriented content, 20 interview guidance program-oriented sessions. Now, all this we are giving it for free to all those who have cracked the mains exam. Got the point here? Because this interview part is really, really important, and that is the reason why we have made it free for UPSC CSE Mains 2025 qualifiers. For the interview guidance program again 2025, to quickly access it, all you have to do is scan this QR code and you will get it very easily. But apart from this, let us get into business here. What to expect in an interview? So, I can beat around the bush and keep telling you the do's and don'ts, or I can clearly tell you my experience with the UPSC interview board back in the year 2016. So it all starts with the DAF form, correct? So in DAF form, I had given IPS as my first preference. As part of my hobbies, I had given physical fitness, watching documentaries on serial killers, reading fictional novels. I know for some of you, at least when you read this, physical fitness can be a hobby, but that was the reality. That was the reality. Whenever I used to feel slightly disturbed or something, or even when I was feeling a little bored, I used to exercise. What else is there to do when you're sitting inside a room? No friends, no family around you. The only alternative is what? Maybe you can watch a movie, but how long will you keep watching it? Because once you enter into UPSC preparation, it comes to a point where the moment a movie starts, within 5 minutes, you are like, Arey, this is what the story is going to be. And 99.9% of the time, your prediction will be accurate. So, this is something that I used to do. Exercising, stretchings, push-ups, etc. The next part, watching documentaries on serial killers. Again, some of my friends, even for that matter, certain academies where I had gone to give my mock interview, when they told, why did you keep it like this? Why did you do it? They actually started asking me questions as if I had committed a crime. But the reality is I was doing it. Something which I was repeatedly doing on a regular religious basis, not intentionally, but it is like, okay, what is it? Let me switch on YouTube. So the YouTube algorithm also, you know it, right? Once you watch one serial killer's documentary or any documentary for that matter, they'll keep suggesting you more and more videos. So I kept on watching them one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Reading fictional novels, again, they were like, why did you write fiction? I said, because I love to read fiction. So if you look at it, there is nothing written here which will impress the board. Which is what I understood. Your intention is not to impress the board with your DAF. Your intention is basically to be honest, but not be completely honest also. You know, write those things which you are genuinely interested in. I know many people, what they will do is just before their interview, they'll start some new hobby so that they will impress the board. That is never going to work out. I'm telling you, they will catch your bluff just like that. Just like the panelists that I showed you for our mock interview, the board members who are sitting there will probably have experience more than your age. So don't try to act as a over smart, I know it all guy or a girl there. Please learn to respect the board. That is very important. So what you write in your DAF matters a lot. So why these two things I'm mentioning it specifically is IPS first rank. So obviously I knew that I'm going to get that as a question. I knew it. So was I doing it purposefully so that, okay, let me be unique? No. Genuine love for the service. Genuine love. Even that love which I am still carrying with me. So if a little out of shape I start to get, or if a little disorganized or indisciplined I start to become, immediately I'm like, no, I cannot live like this. I immediately get back to a routine. Just like the routine of a cop. I try to do it as much as possible because I love the service. That is the reality. So this I know how to handle. So this, did I get a question on this? Absolutely yes. I did get a question. So what are the two questions I got on this? Number one, why IPS has the first preference? So I answered. So there are many services. All the services are good. But the fact of the matter is, this is one service where it connects every section of the society. You are in touch with the criminals also. You are in touch with the politicians also. Like it is like the lawmakers and lawbreakers. I literally use this. It's like two extremes. So some people may say, don't use your hands. Try to keep your hands on your thighs. What comes naturally to you. If you have the habit of using your hands, being expressive, being emotive, do it. It is not a crime. It is not a crime to be yourself. But yeah, be respectful. Don't shout. Don't try to sit there and argue. Be respectful. So I did use this. So that was one question. Second question that I got was, which they accepted happily. Second question, which again with regard to police service that I got was, when will you use firearm? That was a question. So I answered it. Sir, firearm has to be used only as a last resort. And only again where the life of a colleague or the life of the public is in danger. Even then, warning shots has to be given first. And if worst case scenario, one person has to shoot, one should shoot below the waist. That is what I answered. Again, the board members were happy. So basically, throughout that board, in that board again, 5 members were there. Chairperson was a lady again. So she was sitting at the center. 2 members on this side. Another 2 on this side. There was a gentleman there to my extreme right. From the moment I entered, even when I said good morning, etc., whatever, he was not acknowledging me. He was simply staring at me with the most serious face. While the other board members resembled like the, grandpa or granny, which I never had. Very like senior people having a conversation. It was pretty much going okay for me. Except that this guy, even when I was trying to maintain eye contact with them, with all the 5, he always used to stare back at me. So I just kept it in the corner of my mind. Okay, I should maintain eye contact. So he is just listening to my answers. So you must understand here, it's like full alert mode. You're fully alert here with regard to your surroundings. Who is sitting there? What are they saying? You're observing. You're being vigilant. You cannot relax there completely. You should be very, very, very vigilant. So I remember still. So these questions were going fine. Then one gentleman basically asked me another question on environment. So as soon as that question started about environment, I became a little nervous. Because environment was never my strong forte. So I was like, yes, sir. So let me ask you something about environment. So very recently, the Paris Climate Agreement took place, in which it was a very, very long question. So I was basically racking my brains and I was like, okay, maybe he's trying to ask me the fact here, 1.5 degrees Celsius. Then I was like, no, he's not asking that. Then question kept on going, kept on giving a long description. So I was each and every time I was like trying to find out, okay, what is the question? What is the question? What is the question? Finally, it was something like, what is your opinion on it? That's it. That was the only thing. What is your opinion on it? So I was like, okay, the thing is good basically. And again, I was taken aback because that is not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to ask something factual about Paris Climate Agreement Treaty. How was it born? What were its outcome? How is India going to... Nothing. Straight away my opinion. So I said, sir, this, solar power, it will be good, great, etc., etc. So then he said, but don't you think if we wait, maybe it will become a little more better? So I was like, sir, I didn't get you. Sir, I didn't understand exactly. So he said, no, what I meant is, technology is something which will become cheaper. So don't you think solar power, if we wait for some more years, the modules will become even more cheaper than what it is? And I was like, yeah, that is correct. Yes, sir, I agree with that. That is possible. So I said, yes, that's what. So do you agree with it? I said, sir, that way I will agree with it. Maybe we should not rush now. Maybe we can wait a few more years and maybe, who knows, maybe we'll be able to develop it in our own country at a cheaper rate. So he said, yes, that's what. So going very smoothly. Nothing is going wrong. Then, like I told you, this gentleman on the extreme right, he straight away started off. From the time you have come, you have been giving so many suggestions, so many solutions. Do you think you'll be able to do all this in the service? Straight away. Because till then, the board did not. That is, the rest of the board that I am talking about here, they were all looking very, very relaxed, calm, smiling. Whereas this gentleman here, he alone had this frosty nosed stare expression. So when this question came, trust me, I was like, okay. It was like, how to put it now? It is almost like, your father is about to scold you. Because fathers don't scold straight away. There is a slow oiling, the machine, slowly cranking the machine, gearing it up, and then only they will start scolding. They will not straight away start, like how mothers will go. All ballistics. Slowly they started. Like that I felt. The same feeling. Do you think you'll be able to do all this in your service? I was like, I'll try convincing. I'll try my level best to do my job. He didn't stop there. He basically said, what if your seniors don't allow you? I said, I'll try convincing them, sir. What if your political boss doesn't allow you to do your job? Then I said, sir, I'll try to convince them. And I may even tell them that if you don't allow me now, maybe you will even lose the next election. So then he counter questioned me asking, oh, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to win votes for the ruling party. So now it is becoming what? To and fro is going on. And it is just him and me here. Between us, this back and forth is going on. So I told him, no, sir, it's not like that what I meant. What I meant is, I will try everything possible within my powers to ensure that I can do my job. For that, I will do whatever is possible, I will do. Even if I have to convince them in this way, I will do it. For which again the chairperson was nodding her head. Yes, yes, slowly. She was nodding. So it was like, from her side, it was full approval. But he was not ready to let it go. So he said, what if they still don't agree? So basically, this is what you call to get boxed in a corner in an interview. Boxed in a corner, any boxer, any fighter will tell you that is the worst place to be at. Because in a corner, when you're pushed, you won't be able to move your hands or your legs that easily or that freely. Because you don't have the space. Behind it's like you're boxed in. In an interview, when this happens, it simply means the interviewer is looking for an answer which you have not delivered it yet. Or number two, they are trying to find out whether you will get stressed or not. Or both. The key here is to understand always that the board is not against you. The board is only testing you, whether you will break under pressure. Because imagine 2 or 3 pressurized questions and you suddenly break, you start becoming nervous, you lose your voice, you're unable to answer anything. Then how are you going to handle a district? On an average day, you will be meeting probably 50 to 100 people in a day based on where you are posted. So they are just trying to test that. So this is where, again, that time I recalled a old interview of an IPS officer. I just paraphrased it. I just told him, sir, ultimately, and I used my hand. I remember it even today, how I said it. Sir, ultimately, political executive has the upper hand over the permanent executive. So if it is an order coming from the political executive, permanent executive has to obey it. Finally, it is an order, they have to obey it. That is the first time when he smiled. He didn't stop there also. He just asked a continuing question to it, which was, what if that order is against your conscience? Order being against your conscience means, so your parents' conscience is what? Your ethics and your values, which your parents, teachers, and generally in that society where you grew up had taught you. So largely, let us all agree that in Indian society, basically we are taught not to hurt girls, not to hit girls physically. Correct? We should respect them, etc. That is part of our ethical value. But what if that girl or a woman is a terrorist or an Naxalite or an insurgent? Then what do you do? Will you apply the same policy? Absolutely not. So conscious is something which is very, very subjective. From society to society, situation to situation, it will keep changing. But rules, orders, they are very objective. So for that question, again, my answer was, even if it is against my conscience and if it is an official order, I will execute it. Because that is what you're supposed to be doing. You are an executor. You are somebody who will get the job done. He smiled even more. So, on hindsight, today I understand it very clearly that they are only looking for civil servants who will follow orders. They are not looking for experts on subjects. They are not looking for activists who will do their job well. That is the point here. Needless to say, before going to this main interview, I had attended a couple of mock interviews. Now, in all those mock interviews, again, let me tell you, again, thing was like, they were telling me multiple things, like, why did you give IPS as your first option? Number one. For which, again, I told it was my service preference, etc. Then they were giving me new types of fear. No, maybe the board will think like this, board will think like that, but nothing of that sort ever happened. Number two, what they tried to tell me was, try to smile. Because my face is very serious. You have a very serious face. You should try to smile. Another candidate was there for whom they had told, don't smile too much. So, what is the correct meter of a smile? So, I remember even today when we came out of, after our mocks were over, we came out. I mean, everybody could see the mock. It was a public mock again. Candidates sitting in the chair, observing how each and every candidate is performing and what answer they are giving. So, as soon as we came out, we were all having our tea, coffee. They were all discussing, what is this? For you, they told, try to smile. For me, they are telling, don't smile too much. So I just told them, let's do one thing. Let us go as however we are. Because now at this stage of our life, where we have already crossed 25, 26 years, and now we are going to go to the interview. Should I sit and worry about the questions that they will be asking and how to answer it? Or should I worry about whether my smile is the correctest level of smile? It will look very bizarre. My focus will shift towards maintaining a smile here. It is perfectly okay if you are having a very serious face. It is perfectly okay. People will generally say, oh no, but you should smile. It's not that we are going to, for a marriage alliance, right? Where we are trying to impress the chairman and probably they will give their daughter or their son as, husband or wife for us. No, that is not the case. We are there to answer the questions. Even if you have a serious face, it's fine. As long as you are respectful while you talk, that's more than sufficient. Some people may say, no, you're talking too fast. You should reduce the speed. What naturally you're doing, don't try to control it on that day. But yes, a couple of things needs to be controlled. If you have the habit of drooping down your shoulders, if you have the habit of, tapping your feet when you get nervous, shaking your feet, or tapping into your fingers, anything where you're drumming, strumming, whatever you're doing, that you need to put a stop to. Got the picture here? So for those things, you need to keep attending mock after mock. Other than that, the purpose of an interview, like I told you, it is always one thing. They want to know what is your overall personality. So some of you might be wondering, how did it go for me at the end of the day? Well, I had scored 187 marks that year. Why didn't I end up in the service? Because by 19 marks, I missed out on the final rank list, and the real villain was the mains exam. Mains exam, again, I did prepare, but rather than focusing on answer writing, I had focused more on taking down current affair notes, which ran into easily some 500 pages. That was the reason. So please understand. Go into the interview. Answer the questions really well. As of now, I know many of you don't know what your mains marks are. But yes, you have a fair chance of cracking the service if you do really well in your interview. So, do well in your interview. All the very best. Well begun is half done. Please ensure that you take up our guidance program. And who knows, maybe you will be more luckier than me. Your mains marks also will be good. Your interview score will take you right through. All the very best, people, for your mocks as well as for the interview. Congratulations once again for all those who have managed to crack the mains this year. As for those people who did not crack, well, like I told you, keep practicing your answer writing. That is the only way. Answer writing is not about knowledge again, it is a skill. So practice that. All the very best. Take care.